So you want to be an exchange student, but you're a student in Britain. The reason I'm highlighting the fact that this is for students living in Britain is because if you've ever researched online about exchange programs, you'll see that there are plenty of exchange programs for students in America, Canada, Malaysia, Australia, just to name a few. So exchange programs that exclude students in Britain include AFS, Rotary, Green Heart Travel, any other exchange program you can think of. So if you're like me and you're like, well, what did the students living in Britain do? Don't worry, I have two options for you. So the first option is going with EF, Education First. This is an exchange program that allows you to stay and study in your chosen country with other exchange students. So you don't get placed in a local high school, instead you go to an EF language school in your chosen country. I'm pretty sure you can do a homestay with EF, or you can live in dorms with other exchange students in an EF language school. I'm sure they do programs from 5 months to 10 months, so if that's what you're looking for, then go ahead. I put links to everything that I say in the description. But for me, this wasn't the way to go, so I found an alternative. Option 2 is My Education UK, and it's the program that I'm currently with. So I'm going to explain to you today about My Education UK since I'm most familiar with it and I can talk at length about it. First things first, make sure you have your parents on board with the idea of you going on a high school exchange, because it was so stressful trying to get my mum on board with it. She said at one point, no, you're definitely not going, but lucky enough, Year 9 debating club served me well. If you get your parents on board at the very beginning, then it will help you a lot in the long run. Right, time for eligibility requirements. So you want to make sure that you fit all of these requirements before you apply to go on exchange with My Education UK. Number 1, you must be or be between the ages of 15 and 18. And My Education do state that they can make exceptions for 14-year-olds as well, which is scary. But please note that you're not allowed to turn 19 while you're on your exchange. So if you are going while you're 18, you're not allowed to have your birthday in your chosen country, because then you'll be 19 and that'll be breaking the rules and that won't be good. Number 2, you have to make sure that you're still in school when you apply. This doesn't just mean, you have to be in high school or secondary school before you apply, because what I'm doing is that just before I go to sixth form, I'm deferring a year and then doing my semester year abroad then. So speaking of school, you must have at least a C grade average in all of your classes, and if not, then you better study because you need that. Number 4, you have to be medically fit. Now, a part of the application process requires your GP to fill out these long forms about your physical health. Now, although it doesn't mention it, you also have to be emotionally and mentally fit as well to be able to cope with the struggles that an exchange may bring. So, be prepared for that. Number 5, this one has personally been a struggle for me. It's that you can't be a vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian, someone with special dietary requirements while you're on your exchange, and this is because your host family will struggle to cater for you. With My Education UK, host families are volunteers, so they don't get paid a lot with My Education UK. I do know that they get paid a little bit, but yeah, so it's not really fair on them that they have to go out and buy you all this special food so that you can actually eat. So yeah, while you're on exchange, you'll probably have to give up being a vegetarian, a vegan, a pescatarian, etc. Just because it will be very difficult for your host family. But if you do have any allergies, please make that known to the exchange program. In your application form, it will ask you if you have any allergies. Please state them all there, because you don't want to have an allergic reaction while on exchange, because that would suck. Number 6 is with regards to you as a person. My Education state that you must be open-minded, flexible and mature, as well as being keen to take advantage of all opportunities offered to you. Now, obviously this is a rare experience, especially for students living in Britain, so you want to make sure that you're making the most of it while you're there. So yeah, you've passed all of the eligibility requirements and you are finally eligible to be an exchange student with My Education UK. Now, if you were as hyped about your exchange as me, then you probably would have figured out the answers to all of these questions already. Number 1, which country do you want to study in? This sounds really obvious, but it's something you have to think about. So, My Education offer, I'm going to read them out because I don't know them off by heart. Okay, My Education offers a good range of destinations, so here's a list of them. Brazil, USA, Mexico, Canada, Thailand, Japan, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Norway, Portugal, Spain and the Netherlands. Number 2, now you've chosen your destination, how long are you going to go for? My Education offers exchanges that go from 2 to 3 months, to 5 months, to 10 months, which is a semester year. But please note that it can be that only certain destinations will do a 2 to 3 month exchange and others will only do a 10-month exchange. I'm pretty sure they will do 5 months though. Don't take my word on that. Of course, if you want to see a list of destinations, then check the links and yeah. Number 3, well, through the same link, you'll be able to see whether there is a language requirement for your country. So if you're going to a non-English speaking country, you need to know if you need to know the language. And it will tell you how long you should be studying that language for before you go on exchange. So for example, I'm going for a year to Japan, and I need to have at least a year's prior knowledge of the language before I can go, which is okay. This next point is probably the most important and will probably decide whether or not you go on exchange, and that's the cost of the exchange. So you have the cost of the exchange itself, then the insurance, and then any extra things you need. But bear in mind that costs can vary depending on where you're going and how long you're staying for. So for example, 10 months in Japan is about £7,000 just for the actual, destination, but you then have insurance and everything else on top of that. But then for Canada, you have to pay like £13,000, so that's fun. So yeah, see if you can afford that already, or whether you need to do some fundraising like I'm going to be doing, which is going to be fun. Yeah, make sure that you still have money for insurance, visa applications, your own disposable income type thing. Yeah. Oh, the kid on a trampoline. We used to have a trampoline. Wish we still had it. Take a break from that stress heap and think, what do you want to gain from this amazing experience? Use your answer as inspiration to continue working hard towards your exchange. And you're now worthy to fill out a pre-application form. This will then be submitted to My Education UK member of staff, and they will get back to you with an email discussing your application form. Okay, I recommend that you attend an online information session either before or after your pre-application, because this will give you and your parents a better idea of what an exchange is about and what it entails. It's normally done through a trusted website that's used for like business calls. It's kind of like a Skype call, it's informal, nothing to worry about, and yes, it's very helpful. Ice cream! We're gonna play some music in a sec. I mean, I had my online information session. There you go. I actually had my online information session in the car on the curb of like an industrial estate thing. I mean, it was both physically and socially uncomfortable, so I don't recommend you do that. Anyway, if all goes well again, then you will be sent an email with the application form that you can start to fill out. There will be a lot of separate components that you have to fill out over a few months and then give it back to them before the deadline. And if you want to check your deadline, then check the link in the description and it will tell you. So congratulations, you've made it to the application stage and to the end of this very extensive video. If you found this helpful, then look out for part 2, where I'll talk you through how to actually get through those application things and all the separate components. I can give you like tips and tricks because I've been through it, I've done it, and I can give you some examples as well. So this video is actually an adaptation from my blog, one of my blog posts, and it was like the second blog post. But if you're interested in looking at the written version of this video, then go ahead and check it out. I mean, I'll put it all in the description anyways, so. On there I post about my exchange and my application process to my exchange by car. So if that interests you, then go for it. So, good luck on applying to become a high school exchange student. It'll be fine. The My Education UK staff as well, they are super friendly, and I can't even remember the amount of times that I've emailed them. They're great. They're really nice. So yeah, don't worry about emailing them. They are very friendly. I even messaged them over Facebook once, which was very informal, but I didn't know what else to do. I was really stupid. So yeah, don't worry about that, and good luck on becoming a high school exchange student. Bye! Bye boy! He's very tired. Oh. Okay, night night. Smell that popcorn. Oh, hello. I'll put you down now.